So I'm here at the Butterfly Palace here in Branson, Missouri, and let's take a look and find out some really fun things about butterflies. So here we have a real large, beautiful one. As you can tell with this one, it's mimicking kind of like an owl's eye or a bird's eye. Obviously that would deter predators, because if you were to see that against a tree and you saw that looking back at you, you would almost think that is just a bird, and that's the whole purpose of this. And then obviously the wings blend in into the environment to resemble bark or like a tree trunk. These ones here are eating, or better yet, lapping up fruit. So what's interesting with butterflies is they can actually taste with their feet. So they obviously use the proboscis, that long straw-like thing that you could see coming out of its mouth, but they use their feet as like taste receptors to be able to taste if a flower is good for nectar, if it's an ideal place maybe to put some eggs possibly. So yeah, that's some fun things about the butterfly there. And what's cool is, I didn't know this, but butterflies in their larval form are called chrysalises, but it's the caterpillars that are the ones that build cocoons. So a butterfly is a chrysalis and a caterpillar is a cocoon. So I think that's kind of cool. So let's take a look here and see what we got. I'll do a quick little walkthrough tour here and see some of the different beautiful butterflies we see here. And oh, that's a pretty one. Well, she has all the nice butterflies. You got all the nice butterflies, huh?
I do.
So let's take a look and see what we got. And so here we have some here, and they're feeding on, they give them here like an artificial nectar here at the place. It's essentially like a Gatorade solution, and it acts like a nectar for them that they would get in the wild. So I had asked one of the researchers here how they prevent the butterflies from populating too much. So because we're in the state of Missouri, these are all tropical. They are considered invasive. So what they do is they don't have any of the native flowers that these butterflies would lay their eggs on. So even though they can breed, they will not lay eggs because they don't have their native flowers that they lay eggs on here. So all the caterpillars here are bred in like a facility area, and then when they're adults, obviously they're let go to roam around here in this facility area. But yeah, that's kind of how they prevent it. And obviously they have things like fruit dishes around for them to be able to eat on. Here's some other ones. What's really cool about butterfly wings too is that the wings are made up of individual molecules. This is why, like, when you hold a butterfly's wings, you'll often have like the little scales left over on your hands. This is because the scales, if you think of it, think of like a roof. A roof is made up of individual scales, and that's kind of like how the butterfly's wings are created. So they're all individual scales, and yeah, they're really, really beautiful here. So these guys here are just sucking up different types of nectar. What's really fun too about the monarch butterflies, I found out, is the monarchs can actually travel quite long distances. They can go up to 3,000 miles, which is a really, really wild trip. So the cool thing about it is, not cool, but no one individual monarch makes the whole trip, you know, because butterflies only live about 2 weeks. So they don't live too long. So yeah, sad reality. So like all these beautiful butterflies we see here, in about a month, all these guys will be gone, and there'll be a new batch of them here. So they don't live long, but we admire their beauty while we have them. They're, to me, one of the most beautiful things in creation, as you can just kind of take a look here and see them doing their thing. They're unbelievably beautiful. These ones here are probably one of my favorites, the ones with the blue. They're so hard to spot, but unbelievably pretty. There we go. It's just such a beautiful, beautiful bright blue color. And this is the top of the butterfly palace here. Let me see if I can give you all kind of a little aerial view. This is it up here. Here we have another one of these real beautiful ones with like the owl looking eyes. But yeah, this is the top of the facility here. As you can see, they're all just flying around doing their thing. Unbelievably pretty creations. There's a real pretty one here called the glasswing butterfly, and that butterfly actually has see-through wings. And so even though they look real fragile, they're actually really durable flyers, and they're really hard for predators to see. This is because obviously their wings are see-through. They're essentially invisible. Here we have another real beautiful looking one here. Let's see if I get you all a look. And so what's interesting with the males is the males will do like a form of basking. So butterflies are actually cold-blooded. What they'll do is, like this guy here, I don't want to bother him too much. He's here on the ledge, right? And what he's doing, he's absorbing the sun that's coming in from up top. So here you have sunlight beams that are coming in. You come down here and you got this beautiful guy here just kind of enjoying his time on the ledge, absorbing in that sunlight. So they're cold-blooded and they need the sun to heat up their bodies, just like a reptile. So it's fascinating. So moths, on the other hand, from what I understand, will vibrate their wings to essentially raise their temperature. Butterflies need the sun. So they do a form of basking, just like a lizard or a snake or any other reptile would. They need the sun in order to heat themselves up. But let's go ahead and continue to take a look and see what other beautiful creatures here we can find. Now there is a couple birds here. I asked the researcher here and she told me that those birds just eat fruits. They are not a threat to the butterflies. Here we have these beautiful guys again. These ones here are my favorite. They open up their wings and when they do, they have such a beautiful blue color to them. They're unbelievably pretty. Here's the solution that they feed them here. It says the nectar recipe. It is 1 orange powdered Gatorade, scoop of orange powdered Gatorade plus 2 quarts of water. And I guess they change their nectar daily. So very, very interesting here. Let's take a look at this guy. We can see it's beautiful proboscis. See how they roll that proboscis cup? What is really cool too is there is a type of butterfly that relies actually on turtle tears to get their salt. So they will go up to turtles that are basking and drink up the turtle tears to get salt into their system. I think that's beautiful. One of the things too I really like about this facility is they have this feed the butterflies. So if you want a first-hand experience, you get to hold the butterflies here and you can pick up these little tubes here. Look how pretty this one is. That is a beautiful butterfly. Such an intricate pattern. Wow, that's pretty. I'd love to know what kind that is. Let me know in the comment section below if you all know what type of butterfly that is. But yeah, so if you want to have the first-hand experience, you can pick them up. What's really cool too is this one here looks like a leaf. So there was some that were similar to that earlier, and I was looking at it, I was like, those leaves are really strange. Why are they moving? And that is because it is not a leaf, it is actually a butterfly. So here's what I was talking about, the basking that they do. So they have to be careful because like if you look on the ground here, you'll see this butterfly here. I hope he's not hurt. But yeah, they go into the ground to essentially absorb sunlight, but I don't know if that one is hurt or not, but it's just laying there on the ground. So when you do come here, you do have to be a tad bit careful because they go on the ground to absorb sunlight or to essentially bask because they are cold-blooded. But let's see what else we have here if we take a look around. So as we continue walking, let's take a look here. It says here, it says, butterflies and moths belong to the order of Lepidoptera, which means scale wing in Latin. The wings of butterflies are made of a colorless, translucent membrane that spans the distance between a network of wing veins. The membrane is covered by thousands of colorful scales and hairs, all arranged in orderly rows. The scales are individually colored and overlap like shingles on a roof. Take a look at them there. Completely covering the cell membrane. The resulting color patterns created by these scales help the butterfly provide camouflage, allowing the butterfly to recognize potential mates. And it's one of nature's most incredible creations of art. I'd have to agree. Butterflies are cold-blooded, like I mentioned earlier, so their bodies don't create or maintain heat. When they get too cold, they do that basking form I mentioned earlier, using their scales on their wings like solar panels to collect heat from the sun. So that's interesting. So the scales act like a solar panel to absorb the heat. I think that's really, really cool. Let's see what else we got going here. Here's another one of these beautiful guys here that looks like a leaf. If you were to see that just walking around, I would think that is just a leaf hanging up. But that is an unbelievably pretty butterfly. Let me give you all kind of an aerial view once more. And then we have this gentleman earlier I met. His name was John. He's playing a beautiful instrument. Here we got another one here.
Looks like an eye.
This poor guy looks like he's on his way out. I think he's on his way out, poor guy.
Good job.
They don't live long, that's the only sad part. So he's always playing his beautiful instrument here. So when you come into the palace, you gotta hear this beautiful music. Here we go here. So butterflies actually have a very well developed sense of smell, but it's actually not their noses because they don't have noses. A butterfly's long antennae begin between its eyes and are usually simple with clubbed ends, unlike the more complex and feathered antennae found on moths. Sensor receptors located in their antennae help butterflies smell food, usually flower nectar, which is their primary food source. Since most butterflies only live 2 to 3 weeks, they need to be efficient at finding a mate. Most species identify a suitable partner by a chemical scent marker called a pheromone. Pheromones can be emitted by either male or female butterflies, depending on the species. Unbelievably pretty. Here is the famous glasswing butterfly. I don't know if we'll have a chance to see one because they're so hard to find. This is the glasswing butterfly I was mentioning earlier, the one that is see-through. So a butterfly's feet have sense organs that can taste sugar and nectar, letting the butterfly know if something is good to eat or not. Let's take a look at that guy there. Some female butterflies also taste plants in order to find appropriate plants to lay their eggs. These plants are called host plants, and like I'd mentioned earlier, there are no host plants here for these butterflies. This prevents them from being able to reproduce, so the production or reproduction is in a controlled environment because these would be considered invasive species here in the state of Missouri. These are all tropical butterflies, but unbelievably beautiful. Well, I hope you guys kind of enjoyed the area. Oh, that's one of the blue ones. These ones are so hard to find because they close their wings so quickly, but they're so beautiful. You can kind of see his wings are a little open. Let's see. Oh, there we go. You can kind of see that beautiful blue. There we go. Look how pretty that blue is. But they close their wings so quick. But you can see there, it has that bright blue color. This is my favorite one, I think, just from the pure colors of it. They're so pretty. That is that guy there. But yeah, this is the Butterfly Palace. This is here in Branson, Missouri. I hope you guys enjoyed your time here. I sure did as well. Go ahead and like and subscribe if there's any more information you'd like to see.